What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Manny here. Welcome back to the channel. My friends, the YouTube algorithm suggested me an awesome video recently again. Alex Megos fighting against something called Project Red, maybe 9C. It just looks brutally hard. Somewhere down there in the Red River Gorge, across the big pond, you know. They don't really talk about that, where it is exactly, but I think it's the Red River Gorge, you know, judging from what the rock kind of looks like. The reason why I wanted to give this a review is this route, in my opinion, represents just perfectly, from what I can see when I look at these attempts, what's the future of very, very extreme hard rock climbing in terms of lead climbing is going to look like. We've talked about it in these couple past reviews that we made about Toby Roberts, you know, like trying Perfecto Mundo, which is also style-wise kind of similar. There's also a similarity with Excalibur by Stefano Ghisolfi, actually, who we did not review so far, and it's gonna come up, don't worry. It's also similar to something like, you know, First Round, First Minute, something like that by Chris Sharma. Short, compressed, not a lot of rests, no knee bars, you know, nothing that kind of, no hand rests, obviously. You know, stuff like that often really interrupts, it kind of resets difficulty, if you will, and then you have to have another very, very long, continuously hard sequence to get the route to a harder grade, if you know what I mean. So I like these really just honest, from the beginning, just super hard move back to back to back, and then maybe have something that's 10 meters or 15 meters, but just hard climbing, and then it's basically over. Yeah. I also want to try to make a little bit of a comparison between Alex Megos and Toby Roberts in terms of body type, because these climbers are, I think, fitness-wise very comparable at the moment, but body type-wise still quite a bit different. Yeah. Although you wouldn't assume it, both are super lean, both are super light, super high finger strength divided by body weight by both of them. But there is a bit of a difference, as we will see. But you know what? Let's just check it out. So I'm gonna start the video here from the middle, because the first half of the video is not really so interesting. It's still a couple people climbing, but not that hard, and a lot of talking and stuff. So I feel that this is the more interesting half of it. So there, Alex Megos is checking out the moves one more time, and take a look at how, yeah, just beautiful. Also, kudos to this shot, yeah, because you have to get a cameraman up there to be able to make such a beautiful shot. Look at how much finger you see there in each. You see down to the fingernails, man, on each and every single move here. And this is this looks just like a super brutal move. Wow. He took a bit long there to step, you know. Still optimizable, I think, in terms of, you know, execution and stuff. But do you see how much finger you see there on each and every single one of these holes? These holes are not deep. These are very shallow pockets and edges. Unlike just a wonderfully blank and steep wall like that. Big move there with the right hand. Ah, that looks bad, man. That looks bad for the left hand right there. This clip is probably tough. And then also with these, you know, very condensed, compressed climbs, you can't really skip clips like that, right? Because if you skip a clip in that terrain, it might be that you do a grounder. It's just a super hard sequence right there. Look at how much finger you see there on the left hand. Oof. Tries to stay in control here really badly. And like, how long was this shot? He started climbing at around 11:55 or something, and there he fell at 13:17 or something. So that was roughly 1 minute, about 60, 70, 80 seconds maybe of climbing until he fell. So that's what I mean. This is very, very compressed, power endurance, bouldery lead climbing on a super blank wall with super small holes. This is where the finger strength divided by body weight monsters of the future are going to shine. And I feel like these routes are also very comparable, you know, because they're not split apart by a rest where, you know, someone like Adam Monra can get 3 knee pads in, and then it becomes a relatively good no-hand rest for the right hand or something because the knee bar is doable and stuff like that. No. Things like these kind of, yeah, they reset grading and make things harder to compare and harder to... They make the route harder to grade hard. You know what I want to say there? So let's keep watching here. This was just a very beautiful attempt, beautifully filmed here also by his friend. Kudos to that shot, and yeah, as you can see here, the first split already happened. And look at where it happened. It's not where the knuckle is, it's actually beyond the knuckle, down there. Because the hole is so small, right? And by the way, I've heard that Alex Megos has quite a lot of trouble with his skin. That's the reason why he uses so much tape all the time. And things like these, like this kind of glue, you know. This is kind of a glue for skin actually, which you use in first aid and stuff like that to really literally glue skin together. It's basically a healthy, like, super glue, but or a less toxic super glue, let's call it like that. But I think on a very, very hard route it would be actually pretty useful to be able to climb it without any tape, right? And Alex Megos seems to have problems with skin very much. And I used to have that as well, and from what I know, Alex Megos is also a very plant-based eater, very much a high carber, you know, lots of carbs, very little fats, and what helped my skin, that's just a little bit of a side rant here, basically, a side note, but what helped my skin incredibly was the reintroduction of animal nutrients, and especially of animal fats, okay, because they smoothen up your skin. They kind of get rid of this super cracky, super thick calluses, which you on the one side, you need them to climb routes like these, but on the other hand, they can get quite unpractical because they tend to crack and tend to split quite easily. And as you can see him crimping there, when the edge is on the very outer end of the fingertip, it really kind of bends your finger like that. Can you see that? It kind of makes a U like that. You can actually see it from the side when you see the shot where he climbs, and this literally pulls your skin apart down there if it is cracky and not, you know, malleable enough to kind of take up the tension, if you know what I mean. If it's not elastic enough to take up the tension, that's what I want to say. Animal nutrients and, you know, who knows what it is. Is it the collagen? Is it the fats? I think it's the fats, because oils do not have quite the same effect, you know, plant oils, but animal fats, they actually do have that effect. So tip for Alex Megos there, maybe introduce a little bit of more animal nutrients. I don't know if he's actually vegan or not, but I think he could have maybe a little bit of an easier time with his skin if he would take that to heart. Let's take a look at another attempt by him. Like, so much finger visible there. Look at this pinch there on the right hand, so much finger, left hand crimp, and then this it's just super shallow undercling to finger pocket or something, although it's just an intermediate. Very bad crimp here for the right hand, very bad crimp here for the left. I mean, look at this close-up, beautifully filmed there. Bang, it looks so bad. There he loses a foot. So I think there's not coming too many good attempts anymore. I want to actually take a look at the upper part here one more time, just to see what the rest of the route looks like, and to again point out that it's not very long, it's very short actually. And look at his left hand there, just look at how bent his fingers are there. Yeah? Can you imagine how much tension there is on that knuckle, on the skin of that knuckle? So that really pulls skin apart. But I mean, look at how small, how little part of his finger is actually in the wall, is actually in the hold. That's how you know these holes are small, yeah. Up. This is this reaching further move to this micro pocket there, which seems to be really hard, even as a single move. And doing single moves like these after like 15 power endurance moves, and even a starting boulder or stuff like that, that's where the finger strength monsters of the future are gonna shine. And that's what makes these routes so freaking hard, yeah. And that's basically it for this video. That's all that I wanted to show you. I just have to show you this first attempt again, because it was just also very beautifully executed, I think, by Alex Megos. Apart from a little bit of a foot insecurity at the very start, which might have cost him actually this ascent here, because that costed him a bit. Let's check it out there. Left hand crimp, right hand undercling, two finger pockets, stepping. Right hand crimp, hook, heel hook, left hand, bang. First really small crimp. Here he lost the foot actually, and here it takes him really long to regain that foot with the left foot again. Could this have made a difference? Maybe, yeah. This was obviously one of his first attempts of this day where he was still super fit. Who knows? Maybe that could have made a difference. But it also just goes to show that this is still optimizable in terms of execution. But I remember a time when Alex Megos, when I used to watch Alex Megos climb, and I was always thinking, kind of slow, could be faster, could be more Adam Ondra-esque in terms of speed and everything. And I must say, in the meantime, I have the feeling when I watch him, he's just really fast as well. It doesn't look so much like with Adam Ondra, because Adam Ondra is so snappy, because he's much more dynamic. He has to be, because he's heavier. He's got more reach, though. Here, the way how quickly he finds his handholds and his footholds, he improved a lot in speed, I think, actually. Now I want to show you some stats, actually. Alex Megos, 31 years old. Can you believe it? I mean, to me, he looks like 20. He could be 21, right? He could be 18, but okay, that's a different story. Very interesting how these kind of boyish young climbers can stay so young on the surface for such a long time. Again, at some point testosterone kicks in and they become heavier, they become bigger a bit, and then obviously performing at this level is becoming harder. But let's look at his stats here on the right side. 173 centimeters tall. So this is quite a bit. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that this is fully correct. Maybe these stats are from a very, early time of his competing or stuff like that. I met this guy once in person in Margalev, actually, and to me it felt like he was a good 2 centimeters taller than me. 173 centimeters is just as tall as I am. Yeah. And apparently he also has a 0 ape index, which is not listed here, unfortunately. It would be cool that at least on climbers they put things like weight, height, ape index and stuff like that all into this right column there. That would be awesome, but it's not the case in most of them, actually, unfortunately. But when I met him, I had the feeling he's a good 2 centimeters taller than me, and when he spanned his arms out, it's definitely more reach than I have, yeah. So I would guess that maybe even if he has a 0 ape index, that he's 175 or something like that. Which is still a bit shorter than Toby Roberts, who I pulled up here as well. Let's look at Toby Roberts' stats. 177. Awesome height. Just absolutely perfect. With Toby Roberts, we get this spiderish vibes, the spiderish look, and we're going to take a look at the comparison in a second, showing both of them on Perfecto Mundo, which just a beautiful comparison in my opinion. So let's go back to Alex Megos. 57 kilograms. 57 kilograms. I doubt that he's still 57 kilograms at the moment, because to me he looks a bit beefier already than he looked like when he was just super young. So I would guess he's probably around 60 or something now, 61 maybe, which is still super, super lean. But just to give you an impression of what we're talking about here, at this point in time, he was 173 centimeters tall and weighed 57 kilos. This is freakishly lightweight for a 173 centimeter tall guy. Unfortunately, we don't get the weight of Toby Roberts. That would be awesome, but I would estimate him at about the same-ish. Yeah? He's a lot younger, don't forget that. He's 19, 12 years younger than Alex Megos, and he's 177 centimeters tall, but I would estimate he's only 60 or maybe even below that as well. If we look at him, what spiderish he looks like, how freakishly lean he looks when he's training. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at when we're talking about finger strength divided by body weight. And it's unfortunate, again, from a health perspective, but in the future, the freaks, the finger strength divided by body weight, freaks who are going to climb the very high-end stuff, they all are going to check into that category. Somewhere around 175 centimeters tall and 60 kilos or something. Yeah, insane, but it works. What can you do? So let's take a look at Alex Megos on Perfecto Mundo. Beautiful shot here. I don't know if actually it was an attempt or an ascent of his, but we just need to watch the first couple of moves there. Just take a look at how what his body looks like there. like how long his arms are compared to his legs and stuff, how he looks like in this position where he clips that draw. Okay, let's try to memorize that a little bit in our heads, and then let's take a look at Toby Roberts here at the very first first moves of the route as well. So there we are, yeah. Long there already. Long. Oh, doesn't even know where to put his leg. But look at long, man. Look at that. Okay, they're just clipping from a different body position. This is a lower heel hook, I guess, than what Toby Roberts got in here. If it is the same heel hook, then Toby Roberts is just super much longer here. Quite a bit. No, it's actually the same heel hook. It's actually the same heel hook, and this is just the upper quick draw, right? So there we go. Quite stretched out here for Alex Megos. I have the feeling it's a bit more chill for Toby Roberts there. But even just on the first couple of moves, we get an impression of how Toby is just more spidery there, huh? There we go, little dino there. Let's take a look at Alex. His funky little right heel hook there. Super nice flexibility on both of them, obviously. Okay, he does it differently. Okay. That looked a bit tougher, didn't it? It looked a bit tougher, and the single reason I think why this move looked a bit tougher than on Toby Roberts is that Toby is just a bit longer. He has this dyno a little bit more secure, although he has to jump as well. Yeah. So what's really my bottom line point with all of this? I think with this Project Red thing there, we got a beautiful blueprint of what future extremely high-end lead climbing, rock climbing projects are going to look like. They're going to be steep, they're going to be relatively short, and with short I don't necessarily mean that it's short in terms of meters, but it's short in terms of time spent on the route. The guys are gonna have to cruise very quickly with a lot of precision and not too much time wasted in some sort of weird rest or something through a long sequence, 20, 30, 40 moves without good rests, and just boulder to boulder to boulder, and like clip to clip to clip, also having to clip quick draws, because they still are quite close to the bottom, still quite close to the floor, where they have to prevent grounding. Yeah. So when we see all these shots of Adam Monroe like skipping 3-4 quick draws or something on a super high route, yes, he can afford that because these are endurance routes, and you can speed and really just flow through super endurance routes relatively easy, as long as the holds are good and you don't have to hit them as perfectly and stuff like that. And skip draws like crazy, it doesn't really matter. As soon as you hit the next rest and then you get your knee bar in and everything is beautiful, you can shake both hands again. Yeah. So on the super hard stuff of the future, I think that's not going to be that much of an opportunity. That's not that much of a possibility there. You have to be just super precise on a relatively short, relatively quick sequence. And what I also wanted to say is it's very interesting. For a long time I thought like Alex Megos, basically from a body type kind of thing, from a genetics kind of thing, a very perfect climber body, and he still is like 99.99999 not gonna have these kind of perfect genetics for climbing as Alex Megos has them, obviously. But when I look at someone like Toby Roberts, and maybe it's also just because Toby Roberts is just only 19 and still at the very beginning, yeah. But he's just more spidery. He's longer a little bit, and he still has freakish finger strength divided by body weight. He was just recently pulling a one armor on an 8mm edge, yeah, on a freaking hangboard. We've seen Alex Megos do similar stuff on a small Beastmaker edge with bonus weight and stuff like that, pulling one armors like crazy. So don't be mistaken. Both of these guys have freakish finger strength divided by body weight. But normally what we say is that as soon as people get taller and they get heavier, finger strength by body weight starts to become a limiting factor because they cannot, overcome these long leverages from their long arms as easily anymore as someone who has short arms, as someone who is shorter in general and has less weight. Yeah. But with Toby Roberts, we see that it's still possible, even if you have very long arms and very spidery arms, to overcome these leverages if you're just freakishly lean and still have that body strength, still have that finger strength going for you. Yeah. So that's why I predict, man, Toby Roberts, he still has to learn the speed. He still has to get rid of a bit of his security-like climbing, that which he has adopted from competitions, obviously, which is only natural. He's gonna get rid of it as soon as he starts to project more outdoors. He's gonna get quicker and he's gonna send super, super hard very, very soon. That's my prediction. I think at 2021 we're gonna see this guy project 9C, maybe even climb 9C. And who knows, maybe he's gonna be the first one who actually repeats 2 9Cs, yeah? Then actually be able to confirm certain grades or downgrade certain grades or whatever. And maybe he's gonna be the first one to climb 9C plus, yeah, who knows? He looks very, very, he has very, very much potential. My friends, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you survived New Year's Eve. I wish you a successful and prosperous and healthy 2025. Can you believe it? 2025. It's gonna be great. Bye.